Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 8 here with the Buffalo Sabres. And it is the off-season episode. We finished 48-30-4 in our first season. Third best record in the Eastern Conference. We got knocked out in the first round by the rival Boston Bruins. We got a lot of young players ready to go next season, and there's going to be some pretty significant turnaround, I think, or turnover, rather, I should say, on our club. So let's go ahead and continue. It's going to take a minute to transition from June 30th to the start of the new season. I think this will be the process. So the first thing we'll do is we'll set our annual budgets, which gives us the opportunity to increase our budget for scouts and whatnot. Gives us the opportunity to increase, I believe, our scouting budget. Gives us the opportunity to improve our stadium. And then from there, we'll take a look at all of our unsigned players, figure out which ones we want to sign for next year. Probably players like Owen Power will come on board. Probably one or two others that I can think of that we'll bring on. And then at that point, we'll see where we stand from a contract perspective and how much money we have to look into free agency. And then we have the draft. And we have 2 first-round picks this year, including a lottery pick. So hopefully we can get lucky in the lottery and land ourselves a top pick. So a lot to do in this episode, and I'm very, very excited to do it. So yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted on my Twitter page, which for those of you who don't know it, that's at Aaron, AARON, AWSYT, so at Aaron, AWSYT. I posted my new schedule up there, and that's going to have 2 Franchise Hockey Manager videos a week, likely Tuesday and Friday is what I'm shooting for there. So next video will be out on Tuesday, which I believe is the 16th. Next video after this one, I should say, will be on Tuesday the 16th. We've got some Wolverine stuff, Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball and Draft Day Sports Pro Football that will be on the channel, and then we continue with our Out of the Park Baseball. Right now, it's the expansion Boston Blazers. That may change if we end up winning with them, and we'll pick up a new game a new series within Out of the Park Baseball while we wait for OOTP 23 in the next probably 4 to 5 months at this point. Yeah, wow. Already November. So that's what's going on with the channel. So yeah, we got 2 Franchise Hockey Manager videos a week, 2 Wolverine studio games, which I'm super excited about. Pro Basketball early release came out yesterday. I have a copy of that. I will be firing up a new Let's Play for that series on Monday morning. I cannot wait to do that. And then, yeah, so that's that. So I'll be back once the season kicks over to July 1st. All right, we are back. Let's see, top selling jerseys, Craig Anderson still, Klingberg, Eichel, Kubalik, install, Jay Beagle retires, Tyler Bozak, Big Z retires, Blake Como, Darren Helm, Kostitsyn, Trevor Lewis, Patty Marlowe retires, Brad Richardson, Andre Sekera, Spezza, Eric Stahl, Paul Stastny, Nate Thompson, Jumbo Joe, Keith Yandel, Komarov, Abdelkader, Cogliano, Craig Anderson retires. Development report, Gergenson's got a little worse. Top selling jerseys for June, Yaroslav Halak, the number 1 selling jersey in the NHL. Dark Pouliot is on the trade block. Brian Elliott retires. Andy Green retires. Zach Parise. Tuukka Rask retired. Did he play? He didn't play last season. So Tuukka hangs him up at age 35. Board Confidence is very happy with us as expected. You got all of the TV agreements. Anything that is relevant to us. We got a coach that retired, so we're going to have to go in and hire ourselves a new coach. Jeremy Jacobs sells the Bruins, which Bruins fans across the world rejoice. All right, what do we need to hire? We need to hire an offensive coach. All right. So we need a coach that can coach forwards and prospects and what are we doing? Training. Let's coach offense. Let's filter. Filter. And let's get rid of this and this and this and this and this. All right. So we need somebody who's good at coaching offense, coaching prospects, and good at I would settle for coaching offense and coaching prospects. Those would be the two that I would settle for. So we got a couple. Jonathan Claremont, coaching forwards, coaching prospects, offensive skills. Do we have anybody who's good at all three? So we got he's 68 years old, though. Here we go. Very good, very good, very good. Wendell Clark. Do we want to bring in Wendell Clark? I think he's probably the best option. Good at coaching forwards, good at coaching prospects. He's got good offensive skills. Yep, we're going to bring in Mr. Wendell Clark. Hire as an assistant coach. Maybe not the best, but sign as the offensive coach. But yeah, he's very good at everything, so that will help our our young offensive players. All right, so now once we're through that, now we want to come here and we want to look at unsigned and figure out who we want to bring in. We go to info. So Owen Power, absolutely. We will give him what he's asking for. Nobody else that's unsigned. I think look at some of these ratings, man. Power's the only one that's ready, but some of these guys are just studs. Ryan Johnson, he's only 1 star. I think it's still a little too early for him. When do our rights expire? 2023 is what we're looking at, right? Yeah. So 2023, Glotov, Kukkonen, Kronholm, Warge Crew, Bloom, Tyson Kozak, Konechny, Lycasen. Okay, so we don't have a ton of players, so we still have some time, on Johnson. We have quite a bit of time, actually. So really, it's Kozak is the only one that, and he's only half a star, so I'm fine not letting his rights expire, but I mean, I guess we could sign him and stash him, and let's sign him. I don't want to lose him. We got plenty of money. You can see down there in the bottom left-hand corner what our money remaining is. We have $21 million. So, all right. So if we go to our roster, let's go to Rochester first, and let's make sure we call up all the people that we know we're going to call up. So Loxonen, or at least that will be a potential part of the team next year. Paterka, Quinn, Luukkonen, and I think that's it. So if we go back to our team, yeah, we have 22 players dressed. So we need a goalie. Absolutely need a goalie to pair with Luukkonen. We have Dahlin, Bryson, Klingberg, Jokiharju, and Loxonen. So we need defensive help. Really, that's what we're going to be looking at is defense. We have plenty of offensive talent. We need defensive. We need depth is what we need because we have Dahlin and Klingberg, and then we have Jokiharju and Bryson as our top 4. So, we could pick up a top 4 defenseman and move Jokiharju to that third pairing, or we could, I don't know. So defensive help and goalies is what we need. I think we are completely fine offensively. So let's take a look at free agent center. Let's filter by Just take out the forwards. All right. So we could bring in someone like Kevin Lankinen, who didn't have a particularly good year with Chicago last year. Decent goalie. Lankinen might not be a bad option to pair with Luukkonen. We could sign someone like Lucas Parikh as a we don't have him scouted at all. That's the problem. Let's see if we can we scout him? Do we have the ability to scout? No. Add to watch list. Yeah, let's see if we can get him added that way. All right, so I think Lankinen is going to be a good option. Do we make a run at PK? I don't think so. But let's see what Lankinen wants. He wants a 3-year deal. I'd be willing to give him 3 years. So let's go 3 years. Let's see. I don't want to miss out on him. So let's do this. 5-5 that year. Actually, let's front load this. 5-7-5, 5-5, and then 5-2. So that gives him a higher average, but all right. So see if we can get a goalie to go alongside Luukkonen. I refuse to sign Tony DeAngelo. I don't care that he's on here. We could bring back Ristolainen. No, I'm good there. Gogolowski might not be a bad pick. He's getting up there in age, which means he probably won't want. How do we not have any ratings on him? How do we not have his ratings? I mean, it might not be a bad. Yeah, he wants 4.6 for 1 year. That I'm not crazy about. I could bring back Colin Miller. What does Subban want? $6 million for 3 years. No, thank you. Weidman, Rafferty. Got a young guy from the K. Damir Sharipzanov. We don't have any information on him. Cody Franzen, Anton Stralman, Ben Sherratt. Again, we need additional. We only have 5 defenders, defensemen, so we absolutely have to sign some defense. Who is on the trade block? Maybe that's something we can do. Trade block. Let's filter and let's see what sorts of defensemen we can find. We have a ton of offensive. Okay, there's not much here. Not much here right now. 4 years for Gustafsson. No, I'm good there. Riley Walsh. Niles Lundqvist wouldn't be bad, but I mean, it would take. My guess would be an arm and a leg to get him from the Rangers. How much does Butcher want to come back? Yeah, Butcher doesn't want a bad contract. I think that's a pretty reasonable contract. So let's go 3 years. Same deal. We'll front load it here a little bit. So let's meet the response. Let's bump this up to 2.25. Bump this down to 2, and then something like that. Okay. All right. So I'm okay there. So if we bring in Lankinen and Butcher, that then gives us our 6 defensemen, right? Bryson, Dahlin, Klingberg, Jokiharju, Laaksonen, and Butcher. We don't have much in the way of... Oh, we got Owen Power, too. Right, we got Owen Power, so there's our 7th defenseman. Not that Power would be our 7th defenseman. I mean, it would likely be somebody else. But we got Matthias Samuelsson down in the A. Probably wouldn't hurt us to bring in one more defenseman because, I mean, we're leaning. I mean, look at the ages of our defense. Klingberg is the oldest at 29. Bryson's 24. Dahlin's 22. Yoki-Haru's 23. Loxenen's 22. Butcher's 27. And Power's a kid. So maybe it makes sense to go after Gogolowski for a year. He wants 460. He wants a no trade clause. Let's offer him 4.5. He wants 4.6. We'll offer him 4.5. Oh, he wants a no trade clause. Right. All right. So there are our 3 free agent offers. Well, one of them is bringing Will Butcher back, and then Kevin Lankinen and Gogolowski. So let's go ahead and sim ahead a day. See if we get outbid. Lankinen is an important one, I think. Lankinen is absolutely an important one because we need a veteran goalie to go alongside our rookie. That's the most important. We can figure out the defense if we need to, but picking up another goalie to go alongside Lankinen is going to be huge. And again, we have a lot of trade chips, so that's something that, we could potentially trade some of our forward depth to get a defenseman or a goalie if we don't sign Lankinen. All right, so Korpisalo. No, I don't want the Team USA deal. Nick Foligno for Kirivanta. Megna for Lindgren. St. Louis, Marco Scandella for a second. Slava Demon for Jeff Carter. And Gerald Mayhew for Andreas Johnson. We got to sign all these players' numbers. Paterka wants 77. That's fine. Quinn wants 22. I don't care. We can... We're going to... Yeah, I don't care about upsetting Barre Boulet. We will give Pekka Luukkonen number 1. I want to just quickly look. I'm unlikely to get involved in it, but I want to look at all the restricteds. Let's just look. Oh, Kotkaniemi, still not really all that good. Yeah, I don't know. There's Matthew Joseph isn't bad. Not a ton of great RFAs this year. It's a bit of a surprise. There's usually a handful of really, really good young players. So any signings, Studnicka resigns with the Bruins. Yeah, these are all like young player resigning with their team, which is good. That's what we want. We want the young players staying with their teams. Yeah, no major free agent signings yet. Let's go back to... Let's see if the trade block has changed at all. Not from a defensive perspective. You've got Athanasiou, Barabanov, Schaller, Gustafsson, Goudreau. Yeah, nothing yet. So, all right, guys, I'll be back in just a second. All right, sorry, we're back. Yeah, so, we got Shesterkin on here, but, we're not going to be able to pry a 4-star goalie away from the Rangers. We could get quick, but, let's see what happens with Lankinen first. Athanasiou is an interesting option. The physicality is really nice. Yeah, not a ton on the trade block right now, so we will continue ahead another day and see what happens. And let's see. All right. So, Power signs, that's not a surprise. Kozak assigns, that's not a surprise. Still no word on, so Power wants 22. We can't have that. Let's give Power Let's give him 88. And Kozak wants 81. Well, he's not going to be on the team. He's going to be depth. So, all right, so we still haven't signed Lankinen, Butcher, or Goligoski. So we will sim ahead another day. All right, so we're up to the draft lottery. Have we still not signed any of our players yet? Let's take a look at the free agent center. We didn't lose out on them, did we? No, okay, so we still are their top offer. Okay, so we're at the draft lottery. Let's one more time take a look at the trade block. Okay, now it's changed. All right, now there are some names on here. Let's look at defensemen and see what we see. All right. I don't need goalies in there because we have Lankinen. So let's just go defensemen. Hamilton, Provorov, Seth Jones, Tyson Barrie, Brent Burns, Jake Muzzin, Dumba, Gospisier, Clefbaum, Shattenkirk, Marcus Peterson, Artem Zub, Alexander Carrier, Derek Pouliot, Cody Ceci. What's his contract? $4 million. Clefbaum. He's making $4 million this year as well. Yeah, some of these guys are signed to absurd contracts. Provorov, 6'7", 6'7", 6'7". Seth Jones is signed to like an 8-year contract, right? Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Tyson Barrie, he's an offensive defenseman. I would prefer, I think, a more defensive style defenseman. Clefbaum isn't a bad option. Or Provorov is, I mean, we can pick up Ivan Provorov. We can pick up Ivan Provorov. Let's look at some of the players we have here. Let's start with Kioskov. It's hardly likely still, so we're going to have to dip into our pool of young players, which, again, I'm willing to do, but at the expense of what? Asplund? Yeah, we're not even close. We're not even close. Yeah, we'll see how far away it is. Let's do the draft lottery. So we're probably going to end up with the 16th pick. Fingers crossed that we don't. So we'll be 16th and 20-something, wherever we landed. So hopefully we don't show up here. If we don't show up here, I believe that means we get one of the top 3 picks. So let's see. 3, 2, 1. Damn. All right, so we have the 16th pick. The Oilers, the Coyotes, the Penguins, the Sharks. The Wild are going to get one of the top 3 picks. The Flyers, the Caps, Senators, Red Wings, Islanders, Blue Jackets, Ducks, Coyotes. The Minnesota Wild go from 14 to 2, and the Seattle Kraken get the number 1 pick in the draft. Okay, so we're picking 16 and 20-something. All right, we're back again. Okay, so we signed Goligoski, Butcher, and Lankinen, which is awesome. So we have our goalie, we have our defensive depth, and we still have, we have 27 players on our roster, so we still have a lot of players here. I think Okposo, it's time to put him on the trade block. What am I doing? It's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. Trade block for Okposo. Trade block for Skinner. If we can get anything for Skinner, I would trade him for even a 1-star player just to get the contract off the books. So we're going to have to move some of these players prior to the start of next season. We're just going to have to. I think let's just do the draft. Let's do the draft, and then we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, let's do the draft. All right, so we're picking 13th. We have 2 firsts, a second, a third, 2 fourths, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. I don't believe we're going to move up at all. Obviously you want to make a run at Shane Wright, but, we'll never get that number 1 pick, especially with the game set on hard. So we'll take our 14th and our 26th or whatever it is and go from there. So first pick of the draft, the Seattle Kraken take Matthew Savoy. They didn't take Wright. That's a surprise. Matthew Savoy goes with the number 1 pick in the draft to the Seattle Kraken. Number 2 pick, there you go. The Minnesota Wild are the beneficiaries as they land Shane Wright, the consensus number 1 pick. Pick number 3, Brad Lambert, goes to the Coyotes. Miro Shnienko goes to the Ducks. Rutger McGroarty from the Fighting Irish to Columbus. Matejchuk to the Islanders. Quinn Finley to the Red Wings. Simon Nemec to the Senators. Isaac Howard to the Caps. Connor Geekie to the Flyers. Tyler Brennan to the Stars. Jurov Slavkovsky to the Sharks. Ostland to Pittsburgh. Seamus Casey to the Wolverines. I would not mind a Joakim Kamal. We got a handful of really good players left here, so I'm not going to be too picky with who falls to us here at 16. So next pick, there goes Kamal to the Oilers, and it is now our pick. So our scout thinks we should take the center, Pomo Femis, out of Niagara in the OHL. Looks like he's already pretty. This is weird. He's his high. Look at his offensive ratings already. Wow. Those are some fantastic ratings for an 18-year-old. Okay. Nemestikov. He's not quite as developed. Tends to get hurt a little bit more than average. Excuse me. Number 11 ranked final of North American skater. Where's Femis? I was looking at Nemestikov because I had taken him as a top player in our league. I took him in my Bruins offline save, and within a year, he had become a 2.5-star, 5-star player. So, Frank Nazar out of Michigan, Antonin Vero out of the Q. He's a little higher ranked. I like Femis. His ratings are really, really good. Safe suggestions, Nemestikov. Risky suggestions, Nemestikov. That seems broken. Right now, I like the idea of taking Femis. His offensive ratings are really good. He's really physical already. You look at some of these ratings already as an 18-year-old. He's ranked number 30, so that tells me he might be there later on. So I think we're going to take Philip Massar. I kind of want Nemestikov. Max Nemestikov, 17. He's 18 years old. Ratings aren't quite as good, but he looks like he's a bit more of a two-way player. I think we're going to take Nemestikov. We're going to take Nemestikov and hope that Femis is there with our next pick. So Nazar goes next to the Kings, Gaucher to Calgary, Urov to the Blues, Vero to the Maple Leafs, Jack Devine to the Blue Jackets. There goes Femis to the Devils at 22. That's all right. Korchinski to the Canucks at 23. Ivanov to the Sabres, the first goalie taken. Henry Wilson goes to the Bruins at 25. Massar goes to the Predators at 26. Lainanen to the Coyotes. Wait a second. Why did it skip our pick? Damn it. I auto-drafted. All right, so we get another goalie. Sergei Ivanov. All right, well, that was stupid of me. Because I probably would have taken Massar, but that's okay. So we pick up Sergei Ivanov, the top goalie in the draft, or I guess the second highest rated goalie in the draft. So Nemestikov and Ivanov are our two top picks. Okay, that's fine. So we're just going to go ahead to the next human pick, and it is the second round. Scout wants us to take Justin Cote, currently in the queue. Semenov is the safe pick, and the risky suggestion is Panzer, 19-year-old left wing. Let's look at overall potential. So that was a screw-up on my part. I wasn't paying attention, and and it went right past our pick. We get a good goalie. We need, you can never have too many goalie prospects. We have a ton of offensive talent in the minors, so I'm not too concerned there. We could use a defenseman, Ludvig Janssen. Develop into a good player. He's ranked 10th overall in the European skater rankings. He's not very physical. He's a blue chip. 6 feet, 172 pounds. Has potential to develop into a good player. Potential to exceed Will Butcher's overall skill level. I don't mind that. Let's filter. That was dumb of me, man. I'm really annoyed with myself. I don't know that. I may have taken Ivanov anyway, but it's very possible that I could have looked at that. I could have taken Massar, who was a bit better player, I think, in my estimation. But whatever, it happens. So Jansen's the best defenseman left, so I think we just take him. Or is he the best defenseman? I guess we can look at some. Yeah. Look at some of the ratings. Luke Mittelstadt, I assume that's Casey's younger brother. So that might be a pick we have here coming up. But I think Jansen is going to be the pick in round 2. Let's pick until human. So Mittelstadt is still there. Do we want Casey's younger brother? Develop into a good player. Might be successful, but he won't be well liked, even though he's a leader. It says he's a leader, but he won't be well liked. Maybe he's one of those leaders that everybody hates. Who knows? All right, let's keep going. Let's go back to... Didn't I clear? Let's just reset the filter. Come on. What's going on here, guys? Where are our forwards? Where are the forwards? What happened? Is this a bug in the game? What is going on? Oh, the mock draft. Who did it say we were going to take? So they thought Wright was going to go first. So they thought we were going to take Brennan, which we didn't. We took Nemestikov, who went 22nd. And then they thought we were going to take Isaac Howard. Okay, well, they thought we were going to take a goalie. We took a goalie, just not the goalie they expected. All right, so still some really good young talent here. So Colby Saganyuk with Erie. Good offensive read, very physical already. Blue chip prospect. I like Saganyuk. Robert Bacco. What about Mueller? Two-way forward. He goes to Nebraska, Omaha. Yeah, he's not developed at all right now. All right, so I think we're going to go Colby Saganuk. Get to our next pick. And let's see. We're in the 4th round now, right? Yeah, we're in the 4th round. Mueller's still there. Middlestat's still there. Almquist at 18 is a little further developed. Brady Burns is an overager. Yeah, he's pretty well developed for an 18-year-old. Marcus Almquist. Out of the Briancon Diables Rouges. Pretty good stamina. Offensive forward. Yeah, we can take Almquist. If Middlestat is there with our next pick, we will take him then. He is. So we're going to take Luke Middlestat here. So we have Casey's little brother we took in the 4th round. Go to our next pick. A lot of overagers, which we'll deal with later. Peter Reynolds, Trevor Wong. They think we should take Hughes. Simon Hughes out of the Q. Plays for Drummondville. 28 points, 56 games a year ago. His ratings are kind of meh. Has the potential to become a regular player. Hughes will log a fair amount of time lost to injuries, which isn't great. What are the risky suggestions? McGroarty. Matt McGroarty goes to Quinnipiac. Yeah, we just don't have a lot of information on him. Dylan Cousins, long term. I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, I think we can go after Matt McGroarty here in the 5th round. It's not a reach, but it's a risk, I guess. We're taking a risk. So here we now have a 20-year-old Ilya Rykov, Jan Sickhart. Go back to safe. Yeah, I don't want to take a 2-star guy here. Barbashev, an 18-year-old out of the Q, Maxim Barbashev. Decent ratings already, offensively and physically. His defense is lacking a bit behind, but that's fine. Offensive forward, yeah. Maxim Barbashev we will take in the 6th round. And I think we're moving on to pick 7. And let's look at an overager. Brady Burns, maybe. Out of the St. John Sea Dogs. Meh. He's an overager, but he's not a particularly good one. Owen Peterson and Mikey Milne. They both play for the same team. They both play for Winnipeg in the WHL. Owen Peterson put up 85 points in 66 games a year ago as a 19-year-old. Yep, I think Owen Peterson is the pick. Our final pick, we take the overager, Owen Peterson. And we could probably sign him right away and send him to Rochester because he's already 2 stars. So, all right. Well, there is the draft. So let's go to unsigned info. And let's sign Peterson. Got to have that 2-star depth in the minor leagues. So we got him. Portillo is still, Portillo. We now have Portillo and Ivanov as goaltending prospects. So we are set between the pipes. We got Ryan Johnson will spend 1 more year in Minnesota. Poltapov, when can we sign him? Yeah, when does his contract expire in the K? after this season. Okay, so we can probably bring in Poltapov and Johnson next year, Nemesnikov. Like I said, in my Bruins save, within a year, he was 2.5 stars, 5 stars. So hopefully he develops like that here as well. I think we're good. I think we are good. Yeah, we're good. So let's let's look at our roster. So we have 27 players on our roster. I would love to move on from Skinner and Okposo at this point so that we can plug in Quinn, Peterka. Kozak's up to 1.5 stars, but he'll start in Richmond. Our defense now lines up something like that. Klingberg. Yeah, something like this, I think. Bryson, Dahlin, Power, Butcher, Klingberg, Yoki, Haru, with Gogolowski as our 7th defenseman and Laxinen back in Rochester. We got our goaltending situation all sorted out. Luukkonen and Lankinen. So Lankinen's 3 years. So we get 3 years on Lankinen, which is perfect because that should be about the time that Portillo is ready to go. From a forward perspective, we got, 2 players up here that, 2 of these players are going to have to go away. So, I think Peterka, if his defense doesn't develop between now and the start of the season, that 11 defense is a little concerning. So I think we start like this. And yeah, I think we start with this, and I'm going to sim up to the start of the preseason. If I make any deals by that point, I'll let you know. I just don't want to spend the next hour with you guys watching me try to come up with a trade. So if I can come up with a trade, I will do it, and I will show you what it is, but when we come back, it will be free agency, or it'll be preseason. Hang tight. Be right back. All right, we are back. It's not quite the preseason yet, but we've got Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, and then we had a huge trade back in July. Not by us, by the AI, so we'll take a look at that in a second. Let's get to the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, and we have Keith Tkachuk of the Coyotes, Blues, and Jets. Pierre Turgeon. I really guess he split his time between the Blues and the Sabres. I didn't realize it was that split up. Cujo, primarily. Same thing with Cujo. I guess he played almost as many games for the Maple Leafs as he did for the Blues. And Jeremy Roenick. The 4 most recent Hall of Fame inductees. These are all players from my childhood, so I am incredibly, I don't want to say childhood. I mean, I was 15 when Tkachuk started, so not that young. We'll get this to pause here in a sec, and I'll show you the huge deal that went down, and it was a huge 1-for-1 deal between the New York Islanders and the Calgary Flames. And we haven't made any trades, and I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm pretty good with where we are in terms of our team. If we get some offers for Okposo and Skinner, fine. Barry Boulay will just send down, and that'll get us down to 23 players, or we'll put them on waivers or whatever, and we'll have Thompson and Gergensons as our backup forwards. So I don't think we're going to make any deals right now. I think we're going to run with what we have. Development Skinner gets a little worse. Top selling jerseys for us: Lankinen, Goligoski, Klingberg, Eichel, and Kubalik. Philadelphia, we weren't even close. So 3 decent. I mean, Asplund is a 3-star player, and then 2 4-star prospects for Provorov. They weren't interested in that. So let's find that deal right here. So the New York Islanders have sent Matthew Barzal to the Calgary Flames in exchange for Matthew Tkachuk. So that is a huge deal in the world of the NHL. Matthew Tkachuk coming off of a 33-goal, 72-point season for Calgary, while Barzal is coming off of a 49-point season for the Islanders. So Huge deal, though. Just from a production standpoint, the Islanders got better. You can see 33 goals for Tkachuk versus 14 for Barzal, but we'll see how it goes. So that is an enormous deal. Tyler Brennan, he was one of the top picks in the draft. Wow, so they traded Tyler Brennan, who was drafted like 8th or something, 11th. He was picked 11th in the draft this year, and he was traded to Dallas for Jacob Vrana. Wow, okay. Excuse me. So Dallas selects Brennan with the number of 11 pick, turns around and flips him for a 26-year-old Jacob Vrana. Interesting. Montreal and Ottawa, Josh Anderson and a 5th for Gustafsson and Nick Holden. Youth player movement. Oh, these are all young prospects that are moving to different leagues. Cool. I guess we'll take another quick look at the trade block and just, there's Sidney Crosby is on the trade block for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Tyson Barrie, what's he making? 4.5, 4.5. 4.5 and 5. Matthew Dumba. All right, let's go back and let's look at defense again. Let's just see. Gospasier, no Clef. I keep coming back to Clefbaum. He's not going to score a lot of points, but I don't really need that. He's really good defensively. I can't imagine he's going to take a lot to re-sign. So let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what we can do here. So we're obviously not going to give up any of our top players. I'm not interested in that. So let's start with... Let's go this way. So Klingberg, Yoki Haru, Loxonen, Fitzgerald, Darlene Goligoski, Butcher, and Bryson. So we signed Butcher. Let's add Butcher to that because I'd rather get Butcher off the books and bring in Clefbaum. Yeah, because Yoki Haru is ready at 23, so I'm fine with that. And then Tage Thompson. So Butcher and Thompson for Clefbaum. I would do that in a cocaine heartbeat, as they say. So let's go ahead and sim. It's going to make me continue rather than just click sim. And my hope, guys, is to get this video out. It is Friday morning. My hope is to get this video out. It's early Friday morning. My hope is to get the video out sometime early in the afternoon. I am leaving early today to head up to Milwaukee to catch a Marquette versus University of New Hampshire basketball game. UNH being my alma mater. Anytime they come into the Chicagoland area, I try to catch them in action. So I'm going to be taking the drive up to Milwaukee here. So hopefully I can get this posted today. If I can't get it posted early today, I will do it late tonight when I get home. I probably won't be home until midnight or so. So it'll either be early this afternoon or late tonight. We'll just sort of have to see. We will have to see. So come on, let's pause. No way. All right, so it's close to being all right. Close to being all right. So next year we have a first and 2 seconds. I don't want to trade any of those yet. So let's go here. And how about a 21-year-old Albert Lykeson? Does that change things at all? Let's see. Sim ahead another day. Let's go to the next day until they get back to us. My guess is it's probably not going to be enough. Again, unless they've changed the way the terminology works. Unless you get I think this is a deal they will accept. Usually they come back to you with, that's not enough. So we will see what happens. William Carrier for Nick Ritchie. There's a deal. We'll see if I had another day or two, and then we'll go back in and we'll try it again because I'm not sure why they're not getting back to me. All right. Yeah, it's close to being all right. So, I mean, we can just remove Lycosin, and let's look at our rights. Maybe if we go up to a 3.5 star. I don't want to trade any of. I'm not trading any of these guys here. I'm just not. Saganuk was a 3rd round pick. Yeah, see, that's not enough. All right, so let's look at the draft picks. So will a 3rd round pick be enough? Yep. So that's going to be, I think if we add a 4th, it's probably not going to be enough. Yeah, it's got to be the 3rd. What about we don't have a 3rd next year. What about a 3rd in 2025? All right. So Butcher, Tage Thompson, and a 3rd in 2025 for Oscar Klefbom. I got to delete all these messages. Vancouver and Los Angeles made a trade. Matt Roy for Ferland and Myronberg. It's not an important deal. Let's end today. And we're going to get up to preseason, but we're not going to actually sim it. So this is truly just the off-season episode here. So we pick up our new goaltender, Kevin Lankinen. We improve our defense with Goligoski, and if we can pick up Klefbom, I think that does a nice job for our bottom pairing, or really our bottom 2 lines, because our top D pairing is set. Our offense is fine. So this trade will go through Butcher, Thompson, and a 3rd in 2025 for Klefbom. I am good with that. What does Klefbom want to come back? All right, he wants $5 million. So it's a lot, but it's probably doable. So, yeah, I mean, forward-wise, we have 20 players dressed. I want to make sure Quinn gets out there. So Barre Boulet will come out and Quinn will come in. So we'll set the lines later, but yeah, I mean, down the middle, we have Eichel, Middlestat, Shaw, and whoever we choose as our 4th line center. One of these guys can play center. On the left, we've got Olofsson on the top line, Kubalik, Ruotsalainen, and Asplund. On the right, we've got, our right side is a little weak. And we got Cousins and Quinn as 2 super young talents, but then Okposo, Skinner, and Bjork. So I think this is our team going into the 2022 season. So now I'm going to go ahead and sim ahead to the preseason, and we'll be right back again. All right, we are back for the last segment of episode 5 or 6 or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. All right, so there were a bunch of trades made while we were gone. We'll take a look and see what some of them were. Sam Reinhart traded to the St. Louis Blues for Danila Yurov. Yurov, was he a draft pick this season? He was. He was the 19th overall pick in the draft. He was expected to go in the top 10, and it gets the Blues Sam Reinhart in exchange for, that's a pretty impressive trade there. Provorov gets moved to the Islanders. So the Islanders making things happen this offseason, picking up Ivan Provorov and Matthew Tkachuk. They give up Simon Holmstrom and Alex Jeffries. Holmstrom is a pretty solid player. He was the number 23 overall pick in 2019. So Holmstrom and Jeffries, who's a 20-year-older out of Merrimack. I guess he's in Lehigh now, but for Provorov and a 5th, big trade there. Development report, Goligoski and Okposo both get worse. Dallas and LA. Gurionov to Los Angeles for a 1st-round pick. So Dallas coming off of a pretty poor season, continuing to move assets as they trade Gurionov to Los Angeles for a 1st-round pick. Ross Johnston to the Red Wings for a 3rd. The Islanders and the Rangers complete a trade. So the Rangers pick up Anthony Angelo, and the Islanders get a 2nd-round pick. Vanacek, wow, Vitek Vanacek to the Canadiens for a 1st-round pick. Winnipeg trades Jansen Harkins to Carolina for a 2nd. Tyson Barrie on the trade block, Chris Letang, Dougie Hamilton, not a surprise. Chicago and Philadelphia. Patrick Kane to the Philadelphia Flyers for 21-year-old Bobby Brink. Wow. Bobby Brink was a second-round pick, 34th overall in 2019. He goes to the south side of Chicago for Patrick Kane. Philadelphia trades Oscar Lindblom. So Oscar Strong now playing up in Minnesota with the Wild for a third-round pick. So that's kind of where we are. We have 4 5-star players on our team, including 2 defensemen. Powers dropped down to 1.5 stars, but that's fine. So next episode, which should be on Tuesday, we'll set our lineups, we'll get through preseason, and we will start season number 2. So guys, I hope you are enjoying this Let's Play. I'm enjoying putting it together. I'm enjoying playing the game. I love Franchise Hockey Manager. It makes me very happy. So as always, guys, leave the video a like, subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Bye-bye.